Hey everybody, it's Colin here. Just before we start this video, I want to let everybody know that this was a really intense night. It was really freaky for Jeff and I. We recorded some insane paranormal activity at Fort Abraham Lincoln, so I wanted to warn you that this is a pretty intense episode. There are some graphic descriptions of things that happen there, and it's really spooky, so you guys are in for a treat on this one. I love y'all so much. I just got my hair done. It's platinum now. Got the e-boy look going up, and just wanted to say I love you all so much, and a big shout out to all of our patrons and channel members. You guys are helping make the channel come true. All the things that we do, all the travels are funded by you guys and your generous contributions. So if you love this stuff, please consider becoming a patron. We're putting up a lot of stuff on there lately. I've been working with my family to get it really well. I worded that really poorly, to make it really good for y'all, and I've been filming a lot of stuff exclusively for patrons. But anyways, enjoy the video, everybody. Wanted to say hi really quickly. I love y'all, and stay spooky. Heading in right now to Fort Lincoln State Park. Here's me. Here's Jeff.
Hey, sorry, I'm driving.
This is weird. This lighting is strange. Yeah, we're looking for the cemetery, and then we pull in. This is a park with a crazy history and an unprecedented. I can't even fucking speak. An unprecedented investigation opportunity to start off our mini North Dakota series. Jeff, are you excited?
Custer's last stand. Yo. Yes, I'm excited. Excuse me. I mean, yes, I'm excited.
I could use some custard right now.
Some custard?
Custard.
Custard. Okay.
Like from Culver's?
I got you. Look for the cemetery.
Custard's last stand.
This is Custer's last stand right here. That's the end of it.
Oh.
I can forget it, sorry.
Okay, well, yeah, we're gonna get the cameras out and start rolling. Yeah, just wanted to vlog a little bit more because, yeah. Okay, here we are. It's Lieutenant Jeff and I. Another spooky night, father-son adventure. We are out. Jesus. We're out in. Ooh, there's a sign for the Veterans Cemetery.
State Park right here.
Yep, there's the sign. I was gonna say, here we are. We're pulling into Fort Lincoln. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Sorry. Big park though. We're actually.
Is this all the park?
Yeah, this is all the park.
Damn, yeah, that's a huge park.
All the park. Real piece of work.
So go ahead and say it.
Yes.
I'm a douche. I'm a douche. You're a douche as well. Both of us, we can just agree, are douchebags.
You should be looking for this place.
I'm looking, man. It's pretty. It's very pretty out here. I see some rock mountains.
There's some horsies.
You say horsies? Horsies? Yeah, right next to the fortress, there's a massive veteran cemetery. And yeah, maybe some of those spirits are coming over to the fort. You know, there's a lot of people over there.
Right.
We need to go in. We're not camping. So these are all the barracks.
I think he said the commissary. There's the house right there.
Yeah, there's Custer's house.
What's the commissary?
Audio test.
Yeah, test. Hey everyone, welcome to Fort Abraham Lincoln State Park and the Custer House. My name is Matt Shenandoah. I'm the interpretive events coordinator here for the state park. And we're going to be visiting the Custer House and kind of checking it out on both the history and some of the kind of unknown paranormal activity that takes place here in the commanding officer's quarters. Follow me on it. The first room that we're walking into right here is the parlor of the commanding officer's quarters. This was the second house that existed here when this fort was occupied back in the 1870s. The first house burnt down tragically about just about 4 months after it was completed. General Custer and his wife Elizabeth were living on the post at the time, and General Custer came in and decided that it was building this new house to make some changes. And a few of those changes we can see right here in the parlor is this widened parlor, the 2 fireplaces that we have, as well as this lovely Queen Anne window here. So these are the iconic kind of symbols and icons of this particular quarters here. A lot of activity took place in this room during the time period that the Custers were here. Mrs. Custer herself would host a multitude of socials throughout the year, usually with high society friends coming from New York to visit her. These folks were the elite that were able to afford a trip out here to Dakota Territory at that time, and also spend months on end here, particularly during the summertime when it was nice, with Mrs. Custer. So she would hold these lavish socials in this room. Tragic things actually happened within this room too. The story goes that when the soldiers came back, the wounded came back from the Battle of Little Bighorn, Mrs. Custer was notified of her husband's death at the Battle of Little Bighorn on July 6th, just 2 short days after the 4th of July celebrations. It was a very traumatic moment for her, but she decided to kind of hold her own and gather the other officers' wives from the post and bring them into this room and basically announce to them that all of their husbands had perished in the battle. So you can imagine the type of emotional turmoil that would have taken place in this room at that time. In this room here, when we've had guides going through, different things have happened once in a while. The most common are pictures either falling off the mantles or off the piano here. A couple of those things have happened and been reported in here. And then we also have reports of smaller child voices that have actually been heard in this room here during investigations. So onward, we will head into our dining room. Another grand place where gatherings would have taken place here in the house. Lavish dinners would have been also hosted as part of Mrs. Custer's socials that she would have had here in the evenings. But all that preparation work would have taken place right here in the kitchen. And so this was our kitchen area here. One of the original things of this quarters is actually the cellar down there. So this here is the servants' quarters. The general's wife hired 3 servants to work and clean in the quarters here. They were paid very well as part of their time here. So these are 2 guest bedrooms that the general's wife had here. This is where all of Mrs. Custer's elite social friends would have actually stayed during their time here. These were the elite that were coming out to the Dakota Territory, kind of the rough western frontier in the 1870s. So it was quite an adventure for them to come out here and spend time with the general's wife. So she wanted to make sure that they had all the comforts of home that they were used to, being high society folks, and so these rooms were pretty lavish for guest quarters here at the post. So this room here is our billiards room. Originally was to be 2 rooms in the second house, but the general had the dividing wall taken out. And this was more of the kind of the gentleman's room that would happen during Mrs. Custer's social. The general, many of the officers would come up here, talk about military strategy. He had a billiards table. He was a very avid player. Now it's weird to think that this would have been the place where the men would retreat, but this is where we see and have in terms of paranormal activities and sightings is this window right over here. This window faces to the east out onto the post, and there's a number of occasions when our staff arriving early in the morning have seen a figure standing within these drapes right here looking out onto the post. A very, very eerie thing to see. We've also had accounts where the billiard table balls have been broke, or you hear the sound of them breaking, but not necessarily have them broke on the table. And so this room has a lot of that activity. We hear a lot of those different sounds, footsteps from up here down below when our staff are here in the quarters. And so for some reason, this room does have a lot of that energy that takes place here. So the room we're in right now is the general's study. And this is actually would have been the general's favorite room, where he spent almost all of his time. He was an avid hunter. You can see some of the mounts that he would have had taxidermied out here on the post. But the general did a lot of writing, a lot of thinking in this room. He did write for a journal back in New York under the pen name Nomad. It was for the Galaxy, and so he did do a lot of writings about his time out here in the prairie and kind of reminiscing about his career and how it led to hit this point here out here at Fort Abraham Lincoln. And then attached to this study would have been the master bedroom for the general and his wife. And just across this would have been Mrs. Custer's dressing room. And this was added on to the second house as kind of a gift to Mrs. Custer.
Before we leave, can you just give me kind of an overall paranormal little quip?
Well, that's our kind of a walkthrough through our house here. Now, keep in mind this is a reconstruction. So this house was actually built in 1989 as an exact replica of the house that General and Mrs. Custer lived in. And some of the things that are unique about it is oftentimes we find that, you know, older places that have a history maybe have that paranormal activity, and this house here, the structure is only about 30 years old. But even from the time when it was being built, construction workers on site talked about happenings right here on site, tools moving, things falling, even seeing shadow figures on different floors that weren't completed or in spaces of the house that weren't completed. And so you had a lot of that taking place right here, and it was that kind of paranormal has continued over the last 30 years as this house has been active.
On we go.
Okay. All right, so we are standing in the reconstructed central barracks here at Fort Abraham Lincoln. There were actually 3 of these barracks complexes here at Fort Abraham Lincoln, housing 6 companies of men, so almost 300 plus men occupied these barracks as part of Fort Abraham Lincoln's military force. Back in the 1870s, barracks were not lavish buildings. Oftentimes were extremely cold during the winter months, were obviously extremely hot during the summertime. The walls were not insulated very well, and so you oftentimes had men that would possibly freeze to death in their own beds during the wintertime. Being a soldier out here at Fort Abraham Lincoln was not a lavish lifestyle. It was a very tough decision, a tough place to be. And obviously you can see that the bunks was not 5-star accommodations for sleeping. So after these buildings were reconstructed, we obviously have set this up in more of a living history style. And so you can see the bunks that we've got set up. So oftentimes we would have, back when these buildings were this building was first reconstructed, we would have reenactors that would actually spend the night here in the barracks just to kind of get the feel of what life was like for a soldier living in these quarters. Increasingly, a number of times where these reenactors would talk about hearing throughout the night footsteps here in the building, both inside and outside. And it's really unique to kind of talk about this because, you know, today our shoes are kind of rubber and they don't make a lot of sound. Well, the men actually had a brogan, a square-toed leather brogan that they would use. And these have a very distinct sound because of the fact they had a metal heel plate. And this plate actually helped keep the soles from wearing down over time. So they had a purpose, but these would, walking on wood floors, would actually make a very, very distinct sound. Different from your normal type of modern shoe that you would wear. And so they would hear this very distinct sound at nights, which oftentimes led to them either not spending the night and eventually just kind of foregoing the whole adventure of spending the night in the barracks. All right, so we are standing in our stables, one of the reconstructed stables out here at Fort Abraham Lincoln. And the stables were kind of an integral part of the military force here. Obviously, horses were a big part of the cavalry regiments. This was the regimental headquarters of the 7th Cav. The stables were kind of a constant activity point here at the fort. There were actually 6 stable buildings that were down here next to the river that would have held the horses of all the companies of men of the different companies. And there were 6 companies of men here. So you at any point could have had 200 to 300 horses within these complexes here in these stables. So the men were in charge of, cleaning their horse, getting their horses fed. But getting back to the life of a soldier here on the post, life was tough. And so you had a lot of emotional and mental problems that would take place within these men that were enlisted in the military. And so sadly, a lot of men used the stables as this kind of building that no one really went into. It was kind of a garbage building. You had horses, you had the dirt, the hay. This was the place where they would come to, and you had drinking that would take place and things like that would take place here in the stables. And unfortunately, some men chose these spots as a way out of the military. And so there were numerous hangings that would have taken place here in the barracks, men that just couldn't take the military life or the life here in Dakota Territory and felt that was the only way out. And so the stables are really known for that type of mentality and events that would have happened here on the post. From the investigations that we've done, the paranormal activity here in the stables is a lot darker. It seems, from some of the investigations that have been done here in the building. And it may come from that aspect that some men died here in the stables and died under extreme circumstances. It actually was so bad that there was actually an article written in the old Western papers in Bismarck at the time around the 1880s that they actually brought a medium from out east to come out here to contact some of the spirits. So obviously, even back 100 plus years ago, the men were experiencing paranormal activity here in these buildings, enough to warrant a journalist and kind of another person to kind of investigate, the happenings and the causes of those disturbances that the soldiers were having here in the stables. Some of the activity that we capture in here is mostly stern voices, one word kind of nuances that we will hear off in the distance, whether it's a get out or leave us alone. So there's a lot of those things that we've heard from both interpreters and visitors that have heard things here in the barracks, and oftentimes on various ends. And so it's hard to debunk where those voices would come from when you're on one end and you hear a voice on the other end of the building and there's no one down there, type of thing. And so those have been some of the most kind of prevalent paranormal happenings here in the stables. There's really not any major pivotal point in the building. We've had voices and reports of hearing of voices, I should say, in all areas as people have been visiting, whether during the day or even at night, just hearing those voices. And it just comes from that fact that this was a far off kind of place from the main aspect of the fort. And so you had that opportunity here as a soldier was kind of a darker place, the stables. So right now we're standing on the banks of the Missouri River just to the east of the fort itself. This is kind of a unique spot because right across the river from us was a small settlement town called Whiskey Point, and that's where it would have been more of a saloon town. The men oftentimes were frequenting this little establishment, which was just south of Bismarck. Going through the reports of the quartermaster reports here at the fort, you can read about all the different deaths that occurred here in the Missouri River. We obviously still have deaths even in modern day. Men trying to swim across the river, either from the Whiskey Point or heading there, falling through the ice during the wintertime, kind of get over to Whiskey Point and back and forth. And so you had numerous deaths that occurred just trying to cross the river to get over to this little settlement that was just across the river. But in the spring of 1875, major flooding took place here on the Missouri River, and it's recounted by Mrs. Custer, her glee and happiness that this little saloon town actually floated away with the release of the ice jams as the river floated down. And she recounts seeing some of these mistresses that were on the roofs of some of these shanties floating down the river on ice. So the saloon town did not last very long. It was taken down by a spring flood, but it was obviously a very key point and key part of this fort in terms of the overall life here at Fort Abraham Lincoln.
Hey everybody, it's Colin here. We are currently outside of Bismarck, North Dakota at Fort Abraham Lincoln. This is a very historic property. There are so many interesting stories that have come out of this place, but I'm standing right now in front of the former residence of General Custer from, Civil War fame. And this was actually, crazy enough, we found out tonight that during the podcast that in this day in history, May 15th, this was the night and day that everybody left this fort to head to where a lot of people would eventually die at the Battle of Little Bighorn, including Custer himself. This was his last residence before he died, and his wife was here when she received the news of his death. So that is a very interesting angle that just has added another level, I can't even talk, another level of depth to this investigation. But we're going to skip the long intro and get right into it. I just want to thank everybody for all the love and support in the last few weeks. All of you guys at home that are watching, you're making my dreams come true, and I love all of you guys so much. I'm here with Jeff, obviously my dad. He's holding the camera. And I just want to know, in the comments section, have you guys been to North Dakota? Please, I know that we have fans from all over the world, and a lot here in the U.S. as well, so I would love to find out if you guys have been to North Dakota. I have family here, and I love this state. But we're going to head in, turn off the lights. We've got this very spooky, ominous lighting on the building itself. We're going to start here in the Custer house, then move over to the barracks for a little bit, and end in the stables, which is supposedly the area here on the fort which has the darkest energy, which is what I always like to research the best because I feel like it's the most powerful. But anyways, guys, let's just, here, I'll get Jeff real quick. What do you have to say?
Well, North Dakota is where Mary's from, my wife, so I'm glad to be here. Our host, Matt, and we met Hunter just now, have been awesome. They're here tonight, so it's always great to meet new people. And I'm ready to get spooky, man. And no, but it's a cool location, obviously. Custer's last stand. That was like, Custer's a cool dude to me growing up, and historical figures wise. Look up pictures for those young people watching. He's a pretty cool looking dude, so that's what I like about this shoot. And then North Dakota, this part of North Dakota I've never been. And Bismarck really surprised me how beautiful it all is. Missouri River's back here, and so yeah, let's get to it.
I just want to say one more thing that's kind of interesting. A lot of people believe that flowing water can really heighten paranormal activity in a location. That's why Mineral Wells in Texas with the Baker Hotel and the Haunted Hill House, why that whole town is supposedly so haunted, because it has flowing water underneath the rock and the foundation of the entire city. And this fortress is actually situated right on the river. It's right there. And there were actually a couple of deaths in the river back in the day, people that were drunk and attempting to cross and sadly drowned. And there have, obviously been deaths later on and in recent years in the river. So I don't know if that's going to heighten activity or if that's why people experience things here specifically because of its proximity to this river, massive body of flowing water. But either way, we're going to head on in and just get this started. So without further ado, let's head inside. Okay, so we haven't actually been in here. Come on, Jeff. In the darkness. Hello? Custer. I've got some custard.
We're here, George.
They're coming to get you, Barbara. Like I said, we haven't been here in the darkness yet, so we're gonna hit the lights. And it just got really creepy. Oh my God, look at this.
Well, wait till we turn the lights off here.
Here, let's just sit here for a second. To anybody that's in this house, any spirits or entities, my name is Colin. I'm with
Jeff?
We're here tonight to make contact with you. We don't want to scare you, and we're not afraid of you. You can use our energy. Oh, creek. And we would
That was behind me.
Yeah, keep coming. Follow the sound of our voice. Is there anybody here in the house with us right now?
It definitely have a feeling here. You know, like a heavier feeling.
Me too.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
some
like
places,
creepy, actually.
some places feel just like empty, like no feel. This feels like not. I don't think I'm afraid. You know, it's just like heavy.
I feel kind of on edge, though.
Yeah, I do too.
Didn't expect that either.
Yeah.
Let's go upstairs. It smells different up here. So, we're going to start this first investigation with a brand new REM pod that we just got in. We're going to set the REM pod on the pool table where people have heard the sounds of cue balls and pool balls being broken. Like almost as if a game of pool is being played. Oh, what?
Part of shuffle. Shh, just a second. Don't walk. Were you coming upstairs? Up the stairs?
It's definitely kind of creepy in here.
Yeah.
But hopefully we can contact these energies that seem to love to play games. Okay guys, let's play a game. We're also going to use, because we've had so many comments online about people wanting us to use voice recorders, we're going to use one tonight for you guys at home. I heard your comments. And we're going to start off with this REM pod, ask some questions, then whip out the voice recorder, and end up using a brand new Ovilus that we just got. Okay everybody, one more time, I love you so much, and we're going to go lights out now. Any final words?
No, let's get to it. Okay?
Oh my God.
Here we go. Okay, turn that off. Okay, here we go.
It's really dark in here, man. By the way, to people online, this is the window where apparently the apparition of a woman in a black dress has been repeatedly seen.
Wow, I feel like goosebumps. Is somebody in the room with us here? If I feel you are. Come forward and touch that light. It's like really heavy in here, I think.
Mm-hmm. If there's anybody here in the house with us, once again, I'm inviting you to come into the game room. We just want to play some games with you guys and get to know you. Or girls, if you're here.
Oh, it's really still.
I'm creeped out. I'm not gonna...
Wow. Is that a... Let's put the REM pod over by the window.
I have a feeling that we're being watched right now.
Yeah.
I feel like there's like
You
people
know?
in the doorways
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah. That's why I said it's kind of heavy here.
I got goosebumps all of a sudden too.
Let's just try. It's a creepy ass antelope. That's the window where the lady in black is seen.
The woman in black. That's always a really creepy entity to try contact.
Well,
A woman in a black dress. Like imagine what would you do if she just appeared right there?
talk to her.
Would you really?
Well, I'd have to. She'd easily follow me anywhere she wanted to go if she could appear right there.
It's true.
You know. What was that? Woman in black, we'd like to have you appear, please. Do us a favor. Go to the chair. Feel anything? We're not here to hurt you. You can come in the doors, but I'd really like to see that woman in black if you're here.
It's too quiet. It's freaky.
This is definitely like really like old energy to me. Do you feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously I know it's old, but it's like
I feel like we're literally in a horror movie. And like I'm about to look to the left and there's gonna be a jump scare, like a woman standing and it's just like
right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. What is this?
The ram just hit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, come on over.
Yeah.
If you want to sit down in that chair, you can have a seat and talk to us. Yeah, take a seat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh man, I am like total.
If you're here with
Goosebumps.
us, can you please?
Oh my.
Yep. Oh my God, I'm actually, dude,
Oh.
I'm getting cold, man.
Dude, I am.
What?
I feel like I'm just totally shivers. I think you should do this voice. Wow. Yeah. Dude, yeah, it's on the fourth floor. I am totally enveloped in goosebumps. Enveloped. Yeah, what'd I say? Okay. I'm just freaked out right now. I'm definitely freaked out right now. That was amazing. If you're the woman in black, which I feel you are, thank you so much. Can you really light that up for us? I just saw an orb. Please, thank you so much. We're not here to harm you.
Interestingly enough, right as we capture this REM pod going crazy while we asked the woman in black to sit in the chair, we captured an orb that flies across the screen. And this was the only orb that we captured the entire night in all of our footage. And it seems to appear right near the REM pod. What do you guys think of this? I have cold, like really goosebumps, man.
Oh man, I'm telling you, this is like.
Can you see it on my arms?
This is a heavy.
All my hair's on end. I just got creeped out.
She's here. I'm still really.
It's behind you.
I'm really feeling heavy, man. Shh, don't. You're scaring me, man.
I hear great somebody walking around.
Can you come in the door again and come over to the light over here like you did?
And not only did the temperature change over there, but the EM.
Okay.
I'm cold, dude. I'm
Okay,
cold.
dude.
Yeah, can you sit down in the chair?
Yeah,
It's okay. We're not afraid of you.
If there's more than one of you, can you light that up? Use your energy, please.
Yeah, can you do that again? Move right over there. Walk on over to us.
Wow, this room.
The camera just stopped recording randomly.
If there's more than one of you.
What the hell?
Okay, what was that?
I felt like something.
I heard a click.
Whoa. I don't know if I'm just tripping out, but my No.
What?
Hold on. Hold this a second. Oh my God, I just got chills, man.
Where?
My shirt, I just
Hold
felt it.
Okay, what was that? Shh, that's the REM pod.
I'm literally, dude, look at my arms. Can you please tell me you can see in the arms? I just felt when
can't really see.
when I took the camera from you and I was filming that.
Yeah.
There's no way that my shirt was like that. I turned and my shirt went like this. Film it. Put my pants up, but it went like this. Like that exact feeling. Look, right when I said
Oh my
that.
God.
Did you just pull on my shirt? Can you light up the green light like you did before?
Man,
I swear to God, I just saw something with
dude,
my eyes.
I've got my ear. My ears are just blocked.
I swear I
God,
just
dude.
saw a white
You know,
thing
I'm
to the
actually
right.
kind of freaked out right here.
I know.
I heard it. My ears are blocked.
Why do I feel like we're surrounded by people?
I do too. That's what I feel like. I do.
10 people
See, that's why I kind of feel like I'm behind me here.
I'm like really cold randomly, and I'm telling you, man, something like this to my shirt,
Yeah.
like that, was strong too. And I wouldn't make that up just for a video.
No,
like
I
I
know,
literally
I know.
was kind of like freaked by that.
Well, there was a click when you said that.
And then,
Right when you said over here against the wall.
Yep. And then when I mentioned it, the
Yeah,
REM
that
pod
one
lit
right
up
up.
instantly.
See, it's definitely centered. I know I heard that. It's
just-
definitely centered over by the window.
I feel,
You know?
here's what I feel. There's something that is kind of over here that's like kind of distracting us, but I feel like at the same time, there's like 5 to 10 people in this room just standing on the border, like white eyeballs, no pupils, just staring at us. Oh, I'm so cold,
Yeah,
dude.
I've got an actual just like if my ears are plugged, and I've got like a headache. I mean, I think there's like a lot of heavy energy here that I'm feeling.
Almost like a sadness.
Excuse me.
Are you sad?
I'm hearing my ears are. Invite them to come over again. Are plugged. If you're playing with my ears,
Paused again when I started talking. It's weird.
I don't know. Where's the stairs and stuff here?
It's on the other side.
Okay, I can't really see a damn thing.
I'm not gonna lie, this is really creepy.
Yeah. Wow.
What the hell? Damn, let me turn my light on so we can see where we're walking. Because we're just stumbling around in the dark.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Right when you said lights out. Do you want us to be in the dark? Yeah, this is f***ing creepy in here, man. Okay guys, so we're in the hallway right now on the 2nd floor of the building, and we've got, I'm cold, man. It's like, this house is actually really creepy.
There's a really creepy window over there.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, you're right. We're both like, look at us, dude. We're on the wall.
I'm like defending myself.
Me too. Well, it's because it's so creepy because there's a doorway right here that goes into multiple rooms, and then a doorway, Then a doorway right over there. And it's like, I feel like something at any second is just going to pop around and like grab me. It's like a weird energy that you can't get through the...
Let's go back to the. Let's try.
No. This is a perfect spot. I know you're freaked.
Let's go as they're active. Let's try to get some guidance.
Okay. But I was going to say, it's a weird energy you can't convey through video. But I'm going to hit record, so let's just not say anything. Just ask some questions.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Here we go.
Is that mine or?
Yeah. It's fine.
But we gotta ask some questions.
Why? No, we're going to.
What is this? Okay. Oh.
What?
What was that?
Is there anybody here? Is there anybody here in the Custer house with us? Can you tell us your name?
Just taking too much energy.
Caffeine.
No, these places make me sick. Right when I said that. I think we should go higher.
What?
Shh. Go. Let's take this and go in there. Let's go in there.
Let me stop the recording. Here's what we just recorded.
Is there anybody here? Is there anybody here in the Custer house with us? Can you tell us your name?
So loud.
Oh, right there. There it goes again.
Make sure it's off. So this is on. Okay, come on. Come on. Make it all light up, guys. Oh, I'm sorry.
I feel like, nope. Here, let's
Maybe I'm being overly aggressive.
Let's move down to the bottom floor
Okay.
because it's 12:15.
Oh my god. That's good.
That was funny as hell. Okay, the woman in black is in here. We're going downstairs, so feel free to follow us. Once again, I'm gonna turn on the REM pod on the piano.
And let's just talk. When I was upstairs, right? Remember in the podcast, I asked him if there was a stringed instrument because I thought I heard a string instrument, and there it is. There's a harpsichord.
This is what you said you
A
heard.
harpsichord. Yeah, not quite that strong, but yeah.
God, isn't that
Or it was that, or the harp. But I don't think you can. Yeah, it's not the right way to play it, but it's weird that there's a stringed instrument, and I asked him,
Hold
right?
on. Wait, listen to how creepy this would be. This is like a horror movie score. Wait, just be quiet for a second. That's freaky.
You know.
Okay. So we're gonna use the ovulus.
But I mean, really, what I'm trying to say again.
Yeah, you heard
I
that.
asked him. I heard something. I asked him, "Is there anyone heard a string instrument?" He said, "Yeah."
Mm-hmm.
And there's one downstairs, and I didn't really. Anyway,
Let's just walk. We're gonna leave the REM pod here.
Okay.
Let's just get mobile, and we're gonna walk through the house
yeah.
with the ovulus. See if we pick up anything. If there's anybody here in the house, we would love to hear your voice. Oh Jesus, that f***ing pot scared me.
Oh, jeez.
Came around the corner as a big lump.
Oh, jeez, God. What? What is it?
Wood monaki. Oh, quick supply. Do you need a quick supply of what?
Oh, I feel some.
Chart. I thought I heard.
Yeah, I did too. I heard something. Okay, is there a chart in here? Is there a chart?
No, look, this is the table, remember? Oh, charts.
Oh.
Charts of the house. And this is Custer's.
This is the actual desk.
Yeah, this is the actual desk from the house.
Look at chart right here.
chart.
I thought.
Is there
Okay.
something you wanted us to do around these charts? That is weird though that there are actually charts
Yeah,
that we were walking
right.
towards.
Yeah.
You know, we're walking
Charts.
through the house.
Oh, it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling like really cold right here. Hear that?
Soon, brave.
Brave.
We're gonna have to be brave soon.
God, I hope not. Look at this bear right there. Jesus.
I know.
You scared?
Bison is way creepy.
Okay.
I know General Custer was brave when he died.
Very true.
Do you miss him?
Oh, I could ring it in my ears.
Me too.
Yeah, remember. Wait. I've got that same feeling in my head.
And that was a
Congestion.
That was a real REM pod hit, not the temperature.
Yeah, right.
Mrs. Custer, is that you? I know it was July 6th when you found out that your husband died. How did you feel when you found out that George Custer died? Chart for the battle. We have to
Yeah,
be brave
that's-
soon.
That's the
It
chart.
sounds like almost like we're picking up on the energy of them about to leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Do you guys
Soon.
have to head out to battle
Brave soon.
in Wyoming or Montana? What do you think of the name Little Bighorn? Do you know what happened at Little Bighorn? General Custer was killed there, and he left today, hundreds of years ago.
Well, not hundreds, but
100 and something years ago. Oh my God, that scared me when I looked up at it. I've always wanted that, like a rocking chair like that to just start.
yeah, of course. Yeah.
Here, Jeff, why don't you hold this second? You know what's interesting? That REM pod in the other room hit after it led us to the charts.
Yeah.
We got into this room, and then we heard movement, and those taps have stopped on the windows that we were hearing.
There, yeah.
And then the REM pod hit.
We know there's either one person here or I feel more than one person here. Can you give us one of your names?
Oh my God,
Oh, yeah,
what was that?
That was like a big emotion. Look at that. Can you see that? Holy moly. Look at my hairs. Have you come into the room with us here? I feel like you're all around us.
Let's go lights out.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Okay. Oh, wow. Jeez.
Yeah, just kind of
Well, my hand is actually vibrating. I don't know if I'm imagining this, but it's like, you know how your hand's asleep?
Mm-hmm.
My hand is just literally that sand tingling all the way through.
I feel like there's someone right in this room to our right. The bedroom where Custer used to
Can you
be.
give me your name? You're right in front of me. Oh, I've got a headache too. Hold
Me
on.
too. I have a massive headache that just set in.
Jeez.
Why don't you go walk into the center of this room with the device?
I'm actually really like kind of a little nauseous again. I don't know why. Oh my God, dude, I'm like kind of freaked here.
What did it say?
Unholy.
No, the other ones.
Page. Could be a name.
P-A-G-E?
Right. And fame.
F-E-I-G-N?
Fame.
Fame?
F-A-M-E.
Page? Fame? Unholy.
Fame. Page.
I made that unholy painting the other day. And we've been talking about fame today. And you were just holding a page over here.
Thank you for... I wouldn't imagine there'd be a bad spirit here. That was a voice.
Mm-hmm.
It's less.
Oh, I just heard a...
Okay.
Like literally.
This room.
Oh, this thing scared me.
I'm actually kind of worn out.
I feel like I'm going to pass out in
Turn
here.
that on a second. Let's just look. Just take a break. I need a little bit of a break here. Can I touch that?
No, I want...
Look over here once.
It's interesting that it said unholy for some reason.
Poems and Tales, Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh.
Poems of Denison,
Here, hold this for 1
City
second.
Ballard. Oh, what the heck. Wow, that mirror's creepy, man.
Do you have a...
Here's the Holy Bible. It's cool. It's going off now. What the hell? This is a creepy ass house. Way more than I thought.
Do you think this is the song? What?
What?
Unholy in hell?
Oh my god. Oh. Dude,
Why would it give us both of those in a row?
Yeah.
That's weird. And look what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
Look at, I just took the thing.
Right. Demons.
Maybe it's calling me
Here, let's
unholy.
Look at that. Let's look at this.
Remember,
tattoos.
remember Mrs.
You
Custer?
see this, dude?
Mrs. Custer was very like conservative
Of course.
and religious. Maybe she's saying that I'm unholy and I'm going to hell.
Them.
Oh, them. Who's them?
Yeah, did you hear?
Who's them? Oh, what's interesting is that
Okay.
we were over in the other room, then the REM pod starts hitting. When we were talking,
Okay. Okay, step back.
We're over in the other room. The REM pod starts. I'm saying we're over there and the REM pod starts hitting when I'm asking what the song was that they were listening to, and we were calling off camera our contact here. Then this thing, right when I pointed at it, this thing starts hitting, and then we come over here and it's on songs. These are songs right here.
Okay, we should talk to.
Do you want me to play one of these songs for you that's on the piano?
What was that? Did you hear that? There was definitely activity in this house.
Do you want to hear one of these songs?
I feel like really faint in here.
Yeah,
Like I'm gonna
I'm
pass
just-
out.
I have a full
Look at
head.
this.
I just have a full head, man.
Them, hell, unholy. That's a very creepy sequence of words to receive on here.
Are you calling me a demon?
Some button. Okay. I'm just seeing. Oh, what was it?
Puddle, wings, them, conditions,
Jesus, look at all
table.
this stuff coming.
Then it says wings as well, like an angel. Like I was saying before all this started to happen.
Oh, I know.
What I was saying before
Hold
this
on,
started.
hold on. This has gotten way wacky. Okay. Yeah, I had a problem. You're right.
That's weird. What I was going to say, and I was trying to say before, was when we were calling Matt, who was in the episode earlier, about the song he was talking about on the podcast, this REM pod started to hit, and we were over there, came back, the song is right here.
Okay.
So for this experiment, I'm going to attempt to just play out loud the Battle Hymn of the Republic.
Is that what they actually played?
Yeah,
You think?
probably.
I mean,
when they were marching
it's
off.
like they. When you
however many-
asked, we came over here to the REM pod, and they're like, "Here, this one."
If you guys like this song, can you give us a sign? I'm playing this for you. All of you guys who died in June of 1876 at the Battle of Little Bighorn. I know that George Custer himself died. Mrs. Custer. Oh, I got really cold.
Okay. Yeah.
If you guys like this song, can you give us a sign? I'm playing this for you. All of you guys who died in June of 1876 at the Battle of Little Bighorn. I know that George Custer himself died. Mrs. Custer. Oh, I got really cold.
Okay. Yeah.
This is creepy.
Come on over. Do you like this song? What do you have in response to this song? How are you feeling? How does this make you feel?
Everybody gather around.
Yep.
Use your energy. Show us the support you have for this song.
It's getting cold in here.
Yeah, it's cold in here.
Like, I got goosebumps.
Okay, let's give him a moment here. Well, we're gonna end up moving on. It's getting late. Right?
It's your last chance to say anything to us. Would you like that I played that song for you?
My stomach.
Can you give us one more
I think
sign?
we should go without the light and go to just infrared.
Let's
It's a
go
little more
infrared
interesting
one more
when it's
time.
dark.
Glory, glory, hallelujah.
Oh my God. That's gonna scare everyone out of here.
Can you sing that back to me? Glory, glory, hallelujah.
What is that?
That's the piano.
It's blinking.
Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. That was the exact cadence of the end of the song. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, we're gonna leave Custer's house, and this device I have here, please tell us something before we leave. It's your last chance. I'll hold it out here. If you're right in front of me, come forward. You've got to have something to say.
It's so dark over
You have to have something to say.
I'm feeling disoriented. Since we're in the pitch black here, let's both sing Star Spangled Banner. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed? No response? Anybody in here? What did I? Man, I feel really dizzy. I need to go out and get some water.
we should go.
Yeah, I got like really dizzy.
What do we all have here?
Do you have anything left to say before we leave?
I kind of want to get out of here, actually.
I feel like the energy's gone, honestly.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't even feel creeped
It's
out. It just
lighter.
feels like a house.
It's
Yeah.
lighter again.
Mm-hmm. It
The
got
billiard
brighter.
room, the billiard though is definitely a heavy room.
Mm-hmm.
That one, I think that's probably has that one up there.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much, and we're gonna move over to the barracks now. If you'd like to join us. We were taking photos for our Patreon members around the house right after we just wrapped. We're gonna send our cameras out, and Melody, Joke, and B came through in the Ovilus because when we take the photos, we're actually investigating. And that's just so weird because I was just singing the melody of the battle hymn of the Republic, and it was kind of a joke, like we were laughing.
No, on the Star Spangled Banner
And the banner.
we were doing,
Yep.
and then we were laughing because we didn't know the words. words.
Maybe it's mad that we didn't know the words.
Well, melody, joke, B. What was that? Weird.
Anyways, whoever
Okay.
is getting that Patreon camera is gonna get that
Yeah.
moment captured, because I got your
Yeah.
expression when that popped up and I came back to film it. The light just turned off right when I
Okay.
started to roll. Hold up.
Okay.
Hold up.
Okay, what's going on? Can you get back on?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was weird. Okay, well, I was gonna say, when we walked over and we're taking a couple more pictures, and then Jeff said, I think that the noise was the camera, one of these that we have
Yeah.
to send to our patrons, taking a photo. So whoever is getting one of these cameras, I think, is going to get a picture that
Yeah.
took by itself.
It was like it took by itself.
No, it was on the
And
video.
It was click.
Yeah.
And then when I went to take another picture, it was already done. I had to rewind it.
Yeah.
So it clicked when it was
Yep.
laying on this fainting couch, or whatever this couch
So we're
is.
putting this in here so that whoever the patron is who receives this camera, please let us know what that photo is. Because yeah, that was kind of freaky. But we're gonna head to the stables now to finish this out.
We gotta
We've
roll.
been here for 2 hours already.